Lobster, you got it back yet? Lobster's a 10, I haven't told you grab it.
Hey, welcome to Lobster Magnets. Lobster Magnets, Lobster Magnet and Friends. Yeah, I gotta get my branding on point. Lobster Magnet and Friends. Woo!
Woo!
I'm here with my buddy Zavul, who is here with us in voice.
Yeah.
And and he may be in voice with us for the foreseeable future, unless he gets a webcam. Although that's not really worth it, though. His voice is more important than unless, like, you people out there are like, oh my god, I gotta see what he looks like, even though you can see what he looks like in all the previous videos.
All of the other videos.
Yeah, like, I don't know. Some YouTubers, they get like a lot of like infamy when they don't show their appearance, and then there's like, oh, what does he look like? I want to know what he looks like. I want to know what he looks like. Because of laziness and lack of production expertise, we never really got to build that sort of mystique.
Man,
Who knows?
I mean, I guess we could just like retroactively go back and edit me out of all the other videos and just stick this Sele Sound 01.
It's way too much work. Way too much work.
But we're too lazy to do that, so fuck it.
I am so lazy to do that. And, Goro Gagoro, who you can see. And we are here to talk about Promised Neverland, Chapter 61. So it's funny, though. Some guy was, like, giving you crap, actually, saying, like, man, I think that the fact that Zavul thinks that he wants child death is really disturbing.
God.
But, we actually had a fake-out child death. Chapter.
So I'm curious. What do you think of the little fake child death? Did that suit your bloodlust a little bit, or were you annoyed that it wasn't real?
Yes.
Yes, that's okay.
It was a nice little graphic image of, like, I guess Emma kind of like losing her cool, and then the potential feral demons like eating her, which was a nice little visual. But yeah, this chapter definitely felt like it was a improvement over what we've been getting previously.
Also, I guess to whoever is like disturbed by the fact that I am like just harping on the fact that don't really seem to be any stakes in this. Why are you reading this manga? I mean, in the first like couple chapters, they murdered a small child, and then we found out that this was a farm where monsters eat children. So if you're disturbed by the fact that I'm like, well, where are the consequences? Where is the obvious child death that is supposed to be happening in this manga to make us fear for all of the main characters' lives? Why are you reading this? If you're going to commit to the stakes here, the stakes are obviously going to be children will die. It's like it. Okay? It's like, oh my god. They can't kill children. That's the entire point of the movie, okay? Gary's terrifying. There is a monster that lurks in the sewer and eats children, okay? If you got that, if you were sold on that movie concept, and then for the next 2 hours or so of watching this movie, all you got was, like, Pennywise just barely missing this child, or, like, getting sprayed in the face with, like, Raid or something, and then the child scooting out the back door, wouldn't you just be sitting there going, well, this is the most disappointing and ineffective villain I've ever seen?
That is a good point.
That's very well said. I like that comparison too.
That is an even better defense than I could have mounted. You're 100% right. It's not so much that, like, you're like, I want to see kids get killed. You want validation of the stakes that were set up so eloquently in the earlier chapters.
Yeah. You just literally give me. Hold on, I gotta scoot out of here. Timer went off.
All right. Let's continue on. The validation of the stakes is like, it's what got us into the Promised Neverland. It's like the great story hook that, made the series so appealing, is that you have these smart, precocious kids. They're all kind of cute and likable and smart. But, what makes you instantly sort of like feel empathetic and really, really like them is the fact that they're in these like this horrible situation with like life or death, all or nothing stakes.
Exactly. And what was the worst thing that happened, like, as the kids were going through the forest? Like, Emma fainted, right?
Yeah.
And nothing else happened. Nothing else bad happened besides Emma, like, fainting from, like, I don't know, fatigue. But that was it. No injuries, no deaths whatsoever. It was just
Yeah.
like
Sorry about that. Bread pudding was in the oven.
the worst thing that
Anyway.
happened to the kids was so Zavel, I was just basically saying the worst thing that happened to the kids was basically, I mean, after they got out of the whatchamacallit, the mansion, the farm.
Yeah, the farm.
And the worst thing that happened to them afterwards was Emma fainting. And
Yeah.
no injuries, no serious injuries, no deaths or anything.
Yeah, I mean, there has not been anything to make me believe anyone is seriously at risk. Like, currently, they're going through a forest of death, a literal death forest, with these, like, terrifying demon monstrosities, and I should be scared shitless about what's going to happen to them, and instead I'm just sitting there going, that'll be fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Yeah, and especially given the fact that like the kids still don't have superpower. And I must say, super credit. We're 60 chapters in, and we still haven't gotten an energy system or any kind of BS.
Yeah,
True,
but
we did get
instead
guns.
but instead they've gained plot armor.
Yeah, well, true.
Like, they don't have any stated superpowers, but they have such thick plot armor that I'm not worried about any of them right now. They are in the forest, surrounded by terrible, weird, like, spidery demon monsters, and someone who actively wants them dead, as far as we've been told. I should be worried about whether or not they're going to be injured, going to be hurt, going to have to make unpleasant choices over which one survives, or any other things, or like maybe if they have to start dealing with moral compromise, shooting the person that wants them dead when technically, maybe they don't want to. They should be having some sort of consequence set up for this, and instead I'm just sitting there going, it'll be fine.
Well said. And to that, I will say that, like, there's a little thing that had a child death that everyone loved. And remember the Hunger Games?
Yeah. It'd be like watching the Hunger Games, and like halfway through, just like suddenly there's a helicopter that rescues all the children, none of them get hurt. It's like somewhere like in the first 10 minutes of the movie, or I guess the first couple chapters of the book, they kill a small child, and then like the rest of the book was just, and then everyone escaped and nothing bad happened, and they toppled the government.
Yeah. What if
Okay,
Battle Royale? Nothing, like, no one was injured, no one was killed. Everyone
like,
just got rescued from helicopters.
I'm not screaming for child death because I like watching like small child be axe murdered. But come on, this is basically a battle royale setup, okay?
Not exactly, but
well, no, I mean, like, you set the consequences up. You basically promised us that bad things are going to happen.
Promised Neverland,
and you have to like work your way through them, and just kind of, they're intelligent protagonists, basically try and like problem solve their way through this. But Battle Royale and I guess Hunger Games kind of like delivered on that promise of giving the reader the feeling that if they fuck up, if they really screw this up, they're going to die. Like, and that's what I'm really asking for, is like, can you please sell me on the idea that if something bad happens, there might actually be consequences for that.
So, bringing it back to this chapter, though, what do you think of the stakes ratcheting up? Well, first we have the little scene of like, oh, these kids are really smart. They're adapting my movements. And then, no, the movements doesn't matter. There's a giant, squirrel bat creature monster hanging above you. You screwed up.
I kind of want to know if he led them into that, which I would be entertained by.
I think he did. He said so, right, in the chapter?
He seemed like it was all expected. Like, he knows how to, like, kill these things if he really wants to. And he seems like he probably knows some BS method of how he can avoid a pack of them that want to... Although, I really gotta wonder, though, like, God, I really want a backstory on the demons. And it's something we've always wanted, because, like, assumingly the intelligent demons and the feral demons are from the same species, right?
I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, what would be like in, like, let's just take this parallel for us humans. If we, like, have, like, we have our civilized humans, but they're also, like, feral humans who run around on all fours in the woods and like, act like wolves and just, like, run out and attack people.
Yeah, I really want to know how, like, these, like, weird spider, 8. How many legs do those things have?
It had like 6 or 8, I
Yeah,
think.
but how is that connected to Musica? Like, are those the same things? Do you have different breeds of demons within? Is this basically like the equivalent of like putting a Chihuahua next to a Great Dane and they're still technically the same animal? But what am I looking at here?
But not only they look different, but I think they're genetically different in some ways because this, like, Rufio, whatever his name is, like shot up the monster, right? And then the monster regenerated after, after a short while.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of like getting to the point where I would really like some kind of consistent explanation for what the hell is going on with like the monster design.
Yeah, I think we're kind of overdue with that. Where we're like, we need like not some vague explanation about promises and whatnot, but like we actually know what the demons are, like what are their subdivisions, and that's a great way to like build, world build as well as like give us something that we can look forward to. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
these are the.
Yeah, go ahead.
So these are the F-rank demons. They're like dumb, but they're really strong. But then these are the C-rank demons, which are smarter, but are not as strong. And then the A-rank demons are the super-powered demons with laser eyes and psychic powers, and it's a nice little escalation that we can see our little kids overcome.
Yeah. I would like. Is this the rule of cool, where it's just whatever happens to fit, or is this? Or is there like an honest to God explanation for this? Because, man, are their designs just all over the place? You got this weird giraffe monster. You got this 6-legged horse creature. You got Musica. You've got like a kind of human demon. You got angry dog monsters, and then you have this like giant spider thing. I'd honestly be more accepting of it if we could just like settle on just. I don't know, just like 1 or 2 different variants. Or it's like, okay, you got the giant humanoid monstrosities, you got the weird giraffe things, you got the dogs. Okay, cool. They're vaguely connected, but I
don't know. I don't think I necessarily would want like that kind of level of description of like the demons right now.
I don't think that's asking for a lot. Like, Greg, remember Bleach back in the glory days of Bleach when they gave us like their different kinds of Menos Grande? There's the Menos Grande, and then there's the Ajuka, and then there's the Vostro Lord. Remember how nice that was that we like had these like different classifications? And then of course Kubo kind of like forgot about it entirely. But wouldn't you like that? Menos Grande classifications for the demons?
I guess like it's kind of nice, but I think just like. Hammering the point again, I know, sorry, but like the stakes, I want the stakes to still be in this comic more so than anything. Like, I don't even care that much about like the designations of the demons. Just like I want the stakes to feel like higher, and I think they did somewhat improve a little bit of that on this chapter. Like, the guy is like purposely trying to kill at least one of them. Gilda's promise is like, please bring back one, at least Emma or Ray. Like, you could maybe see like a little bit of foreshadowing, like maybe one of them can die. The guy is like purposely leading them into a pack of all these dudes, and he's like,
yeah, for a guy who's like suffering PTSD like a couple chapters ago, he seems oddly comfortable like fighting against a pack of like gorilla spider monsters.
He's like, this is like his mental aptitude. This is where he feels the most home, I feel, where he's just like in the action. Like, that's just, I think, well, speaking of PTSD, like, veterans tend to want to go back into like a war zone because, it's essentially like going back to civilization was just like, it's just like too different, it's too
different. But I feel like Yeah, but I mean, where is civilization in this? It's literally just
Him alone
his-
in a
his
him
bunker.
bunker.
alone in a bunker. So you
Yeah.
don't even get that. It's like there's nothing normal to go back to anyway. So yeah, I do kind of wonder at just how quickly he kind of switches around how he acts. That is kind of weird.
I'm curious to see if there's an explanation that maybe he's just like a hidden badass when it comes down to it. But he seems oddly comfortable considering he was having a mental breakdown, a few chapters ago. But we'll see. I'm still kind of rooting for Rufio to become a character I really like. He hasn't quite gotten there, although this chapter did salvage him a little bit. I like the idea that he's like calm and collected over this like impossible, unwinnable situation, and he seems to have some sort of trick up his sleeve that he doesn't seem worried, despite the fact the worst thing that he said that shouldn't happen is happening.
Yeah.
I kind of want to know why he's still not just absolutely flipping his shit because this is the worst thing that could possibly happen. It's happening.
And what if he's like testing the kids too? Like,
yeah, that could be cool.
He's like testing them. Like, God, I don't know if this would actually be good or not, but what if he actually turns out to be William Minerva and he's like testing the kids through these monsters?
No.
Oh, or what if it's like a split personality? William Minerva is part of his split
I feel like I would just stop reading it at this point, or just like pop in here to just start ripping on it every week.
That would be really, really, really dumb.
That would be really bad.
I don't think you could like really sell that without calling BS.
But can we all agree like this chapter improved things a little bit?
It was definitely like an improvement over the last few chapters. It's definitely become more interesting. I agree. What do you think you guys are rating on the scale on the score?
Give it a 7.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 7. I mean, it's not the worst thing I've ever seen out of Promised Neverland, but I don't know. I'm still waiting for something to happen that really gets me excited again.
I'm gonna call it 7.5. I enjoyed this more than you two. I think it's definitely an upward tick. Kind of like how we saw in our incredible Dr. Stone saga. We commented a lot about how we thought the series but then it had a few upward ticks, and then it had some great chapters, and now it's been sailing very high.
Oh God, I hope it has that kind of Dr. Stone upward tick after this point. We really need a boost for this series right now, and this is starting to get there, and you just got to have a lot of other great successive chapters after this.
Yeah, it just needs to have a lot of nice upward ticks and build upon it, and oh man, I hope we get something. You don't necessarily need an explanation for the demons, but to me that would giving some good lore behind them and explaining all these artistic choices would be some nice caramel on top of a nice sundae.
Yeah.
Because here's God, I want to make a video about this someday. One of my things that I think is the secret sauce of shonen that basically most of it is kind of superhero stories, but what makes them a little bit more engaging is one consistent long-term serialization, and they also sort of are all based around a structure and hierarchy. So I think us as guys, in terms of what we like in storytelling, that we are instinctively driven to love structure and hierarchy. We love large-term organizations with different levels, and we like to see our characters climb up through those organizations. And oh no, they're facing against a B level, but they're only C level in the magical Juju Academy. So I think giving classifications to the demons would I don't think Promised Neverland necessarily needs to have a battle series where it's this is the William Minerva League, and they're going to become A+ students in William Minerva Academy. But knowing that oh no, these are C rank demons wouldn't hurt.
I mean, all kinds of people like that shit, but yeah, I feel like I would at least like something to kind of give me some kind of structure as to what exactly I'm looking at. and I was hoping we might be able to get it now that we were, at this bunker that they were supposed to go to, but we haven't. And
yeah, that was like the big disappointing. Like the bunker was supposed to be filled with revelations, but all we got was Rufio, and then he kind of like, managed to like make himself into a disappointment when he got wet banded by a bunch of like little 11.
I'm glad that kind of stuck.
It was the most appropriate description of what we saw.
Wait. Wet bandage? Wait.
Wet banded.
Home Alone.
That's what they were called, wet bandits.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god, okay. I didn't even get that reference. Alright, now I get it. Okay.
I forget why they were called that, but like I like that. I like it a lot. That needs to become a term for like when little kids like deal with like people they shouldn't be able to deal with so easily. They were wet banded.
Yeah.
But it's an upward trend. Hopefully next week we'll continue this, and we'll get some good stuff, and maybe we'll get to see the Redneck Demon Village that we want.
Yeah.
Although, in terms of like power and structure, like the best example I can think of about that is like I remember when I was watching Claymore back in the day, I was like really thinking it was like it's pretty meh, and it is generally a mess story. But the point where it picked up was when they revealed like, oh, the main girl is actually. There's like 52 of them, and she's the worst one. So now there are all these other Claymores, and you gotta wonder, oh, is that the 21st? Oh, is that the first rank? Oh, and then there are multiple generations. And who was the first rank of Generation 2? Oh, this is the third rank of Generation 3. And I love that stupid bullshit. I love it so much. I'm just like built to like crave that like sense of legacy and hierarchical structure. And
I think that might just be you.
Yeah, I don't know. That didn't drive my
does.
interest of Claymore that much. I mean,
it did.
A little tiny bit, yes, but like beyond that, like the series, like the anime itself wasn't that compelling. Like the rest of the manga wasn't that compelling. Like they still fought those generic monsters. I think what really gets to me is like when the stakes feel like they're like high, right? They feel like significant, and the hero has to overcome them somehow, but you don't know exactly how they're going to do it, what's going to happen. They just feel like very insurmountable a lot of times, and then it's overcome. But I guess that's
you definitely like see a lot more higher stakes in shonen storytelling than like I guess like Western cartoons or like the equivalent of like superhero stories or like the PG-13 like Marvel movies.
Yeah, exactly.
Not all the time, but like it does feel there is some core appeal in like seeing Luffy get like really bloodied or Zoro get really bloodied that like makes it feel much more raw than something like Tony Stark's gonna quit. Tony Stark feels sad. Tony Stark wins the day because he's Tony Stark.
Yeah. I suppose so. Though Marvel has gotten a little bit better over the years, I think.
Well, it varies. Marvel's never terrible. Like, at worst, they're boring. They're the dominating force of like pop culture, and like the only reason why everyone kind of like hates them is because they're so ubiquitous, and there's like such a like routine. Like, oh god, well I showed it to you, Goro, where they the Red Letter Media where they made fun of like the geek movie news cycle.
Yes.
Oh god, it's got
so
see this,
cool.
So cool. Well, no, it's like. And then they just had like the two of them, Mike and Jay, and Mike was like going like, and then we're gonna wait for we're gonna watch the new Star Wars, then we're gonna forget about it, then we're gonna speculate on the next trailer, then we're gonna watch the next trailer, and then we're gonna love the next trailer, and then we're gonna watch the movie, and then we're gonna get ready for Star Wars 17. And Mike's, and then Mike's in the background saying, no, it was Rich Evans, and he's like, and then Thanos in the house. And then Avengers Infinity War, Darkseid in the house. They just like kept on doing it as like a row, back and forth. And it was one of the most cynical pieces of satire I've ever seen about the state of like pop culture and fan journalism.
Oh my god.
And I think that, like, you know, when people like hate on Marvel, that's sort of like what they're more responding to than the actual movies themselves.
Oh my god, what if there's like satire and like people who do manga reviews at some point where it's like they're gonna be like, you know, oh my god, the next chapter of One Piece is amazing, so cool.
Who knows? And I've seen like one or two of them where they like kind of make fun of it, but they do more esoteric of like people who like review this stuff and whatnot. But anyway, we got off topic. I think we've covered everything we want. Any other final thoughts? We've given our scores. Nothing. We can't chill yet for the time being. Although, if anyone wants to give us, I don't know, bad children movies, like you can send them to us.
Maybe we could. If anyone over the company that manufactures pesticide would like to give us a sponsorship, I guess fuck Monsanto, but I don't know. Just like if anybody else wants to like give us some kind of sponsorship, we can talk.
Yeah. Monkey bat monsters. You gotta keep those monkey bat monsters away from you. You know, Raid, and we will plug the crap out of Raid for you if you give us, you know, that sweet money. YouTube
for sure.
Whoa. But anyway, I think that finishes our thoughts. We'll be back next week. Thank you guys for hanging out and listening to us. You know, hopefully we helped you get through whatever tedious thing you're doing, because, you know, that's how I'm advertising. Not so much like, whoa, cool, community, whoa. It's sort of like, yeah, you know, this is like low effort content. You just want to hear us talk about shit while you're doing other crap. Come on over. You know, I get it that, like, you know, you don't like this, but, you know, we all get bored at times and you just want a background noise, and, you know, maybe all your podcast episodes are done, so come on over, put on the video while you do other stuff.
Yeah.
Let us be your low effort entertainment.
Low effort entertainment.
Let us be that thing that you don't really want to listen to, but you have to do something, or else those terrible anxiety voices in the back of your head start speaking up, and God knows you don't want that to happen.
Yeah. That's exactly. Let us be the background noise that you only give 30% of your attention towards.
God, we're really shooting for the moon here.
I like honesty. So again, thank you. Like, comment, subscribe, and remember, lobsters and tennis, don't you grab it.
Lobsters made of ice.